Oh, I didn't even realize this. I was featured on CNBC last year for making so much money from my print on demand business that I spent like 20 hours working on all year, because it's literally can be that passive, and I use automation to get it that far. But like they were text only designs, and I was using an Adobe Illustrator script to make the designs.
You weren't even making them.
Exactly.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for coming out with me for this special video. In this video today, I want to introduce you to one of my really good friends, longtime buddy of mine. We were fraternity brothers back in college, and he's been absolutely crushing with multiple streams of income, specifically Amazon, and it's branched out into other things since then. So I just wanted to take you to a day in his life so we can learn more about what he does, how he makes his money, and also his story too. So you can see how this is possible if this is the path you want to take in your business journey. Come on, let's go. Ryan, what's up, man?
Oh, what's up, John? Good to see you, brother.
How many subs do you have on YouTube now?
100 and just about 150,000.
150,000.
Yep.
You broke 100K during the pandemic, right?
Yeah, dude, I think when
In 2020?
Yeah, in 2020 when I left because I left my day job in February of 2020 before it was cool to leave your day job, right? And I think I was at like 5,000 or 10,000 subs back then.
I remember. Now, Ryan, say the truth. This isn't your house, right?
It is not my house, but I've been living here since 2020 with my girlfriend, which has been awesome. And that's honestly had a lot to do with my success because I don't have to worry about things like cooking.
Where do you like to hang out the most?
Dude, you know, in my room at the computer, man. That's about it. That's how I got here.
I lived with you before, so I know you're actually not lying. He's telling you the freaking truth right now. He probably spends a lot of time at that computer. Do you still play WoW?
Nah, man. I don't really play computer games like that.
So Ryan, this is where all the magic happens, man. All the money is made.
Yeah, man, this is it. This is, I don't know, it's crazy to think how much money has been made from this chair and these 4 monitors.
Are you a one-man show still? Or do you have
I'm still a one-man show. I still don't hire anything out to anybody else, man. But I'm a computer guy, you know that. I used to be a web developer, now I don't even know, what am I, an Amazon selling YouTuber?
You're an expert. That's what you are, bro. Stocks, that's a big money play for you too, right?
I like to think that I can take the money I make from, you know, print on demand and FBA and parlay that into more money through trading stocks, stock options.
Or some guys do like real estate or whatever their multiplier is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm pretty like hedged. You know what I mean? I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket.
No,
that's also why I like multiple passive income streams.
That's why his brand is Ryan Hogue Passive Income, which is based on multiple streams of income.
Ryan's Method.
Ryan's Method.
Ryan'sMethod.com. Yeah, so I host all of my courses on the domain Ryan'sMethod.com. You can learn more about it here by just clicking this and watching that video. And if you want to, I do offer, of course, a bundle to learn the full complementary approach called the Passive Income Bundle that covers FBA, KDP, merch, and print on demand. That's basically my bread and butter. They're all very complementary, and that helped me work myself out of that 9 to 5. Or check out the individual courses there. With that, you know, I do a monthly coaching call and keep all that stuff up to date. You know what I mean? Try to basically handhold you through the full process, do what I can to help.
So let me give him a little plug, like with expecting nothing in return from this, because he's just a good friend of mine. There's a lot of people in like the make money online space that are absolute scammers and have never actually done what they're putting these courses out on. So a lot of times they'll have an audience. They'll go find someone that has done it or says that he's done it, and then they'll bring that person in, just like that person will build the content for the course, but there's no actual real value because you can find usually that on YouTube, right? So obviously he's got the layer of support and the coaching element of it, but most importantly, this is what he does. Like he built his wealth doing this before his first course ever came out. So if you actually go back, dude, do you still have the income reports from like?
I do. Yes. I still have the income reports,
Hold those
man.
up real quick. This is something super cool.
We still have the income reports.
You don't see this with anyone. So he actually breaks down like month by month. If you scroll back to like 2018, 2019, you'll see him putting out monthly breakdowns of how much he was making. Point is, like I personally vouch for him. All this course is legit if you want to learn this stuff. This isn't my bread and butter. I'm in the lead gen pay-per-call space. But like if this is the route you want to go, this is the man you should learn from.
Appreciate the endorsement, man. Yeah, and that's one thing. I actually had a call earlier today with a company, and I was like, look, the biggest thing that sets me apart is I'm actually out here still doing it. You know what I mean? Some people become YouTubers.
So easy to get out.
Like I'm a YouTuber, but I still do the stuff. But a lot of it is also, you know, I'm a technical guy. I found ways to automate so much, which is a huge edge that anybody can do if they learn my method, you know.
But you got to understand the principles to begin with.
Right. I say start, scale.
Automating bad products isn't going to make you money.
My tagline is, I will help you start, scale, and automate your e-commerce business.
It's beautiful, man. You know, it's funny, like in the space I've moved into, which is truly lead gen and pay per call for like a lot of high spend insurance lead buyers, high spend attorney lead buyers, call buyers. There's a lot of what's called like brokering or networks. So you've probably seen like affiliate networks, right? So like they'll basically just list the offer of like, hey, we'll buy these types of leads or these types of calls. So a lot of times people will have like a little success running ads and generating the leads or calls, or they'll have no success and then they'll just switch over to basically like brokering, which is the same thing as someone that's like, hey, I'm gonna learn how to do this thing and oh, I can't really do it that well, I'm gonna do a course on it.
Right,
It's kind of the same thing, right? Unless you start as a broker and that's what you want to do. A lot of times people will like try to hide behind a wall like that, you know? So that's why I respect and appreciate him so much.
I appreciate it, man. It's like we were saying, if you can't pick stocks well, you just sell a course on how to pick stocks,
You'll
right?
make money.
Yeah.
There's a market for it.
I'm just so used to looking at a camera that like, it's weird, you know what I mean? This is like training for me.
You're an influencer now.
I know. Well, we applied to be on a TV show too.
What?
Called Money Island. We'll see what happens.
Hell yeah,
I have to get used to this though.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 1,
Castro,
2.
cheers. Cheers, boy.
Cheers, man.
Oh shit.
How many years?
Dude, it's got a
2007.
15 years.
16 years.
16
We're
years.
old as...
Hey, cheers to that though.
Cheers,
you
man.
really helped change my life in a major way. I'm not even saying that for YouTube. You already know that though. I've told you this like before.
How?
Getting me in the fraternity, man. That was like a big boost to like
fraternities are
self-esteem,
good
confidence.
for you. That's not true. Nah, it's cool, man. I'm glad you did it. Here we are 16 years later.
Yeah,
How
it's
many
crazy.
people do you know that you still like keep someone in touch with this many years, that after high school?
Yeah, well, we had a lot of good people in our fraternity for what it's worth. You wouldn't have guessed based on, you know,
The degenerates
the
that
ragers
we
back
were.
in the day. But yeah, man, we've come a long way, and I'm glad to see that we're doing all right.
Yeah, man. So let's talk about your journey in online business, online marketing. So you started with Amazon while you were working, right?
I'm working 9 to 5, man. I was a web developer. You know, I built the drinking game website back in the day in college, and that actually grew to be like, for a period of time, the biggest drinking game website in the United States.
What's the?
drinkinggamezone.com. If
Is
you
it-
guys want to go check it out.
Is it still up?
It's still up. Dude, I
still
still
own it?
make bank from that site. Google basically said, we're not going to pay you for ads anymore. One day they just shut it off, you know, which is again why I like multiple streams of income. But direct agreements for selling like backlinks, stuff like that, pays
Nice.
pretty well.
Because you own the SEO. It's like a gorilla
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, a ton
Nice.
of like online casinos. It's kind of shady stuff, but like they're all like real companies. You know what I mean? Crypto casinos, a lot of that stuff. Either way, I'm like, okay, copy paste. This is what you'll owe me if you want the link.
Nice.
I call it free money. That's easy. It's about
It's
as easy as
literally
it
free
gets.
money. Yeah.
Sometimes it's like copy paste a link into the homepage, couple $100, you know.
So after you had that, you obviously knew you wanted to do more stuff, right? What was the next thing, like the next evolution in your online marketing journey? And what year was this too?
Yeah, man. 2016, I was working as a senior web developer for a small company in, you know, Tyson's Corner, where
Yep.
we are. Working as a adjunct professor at our alma mater, right? So I'm doing the complementary approach thing.
Multiple
and I had my
streams
own,
of income.
Yeah,
again.
and I had my own like kind of side hustle business for web development with my own websites that paid, right? So I'm doing all right, but the issue is I'm working too hard. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to work that hard. I know you don't.
And you're
as
also
much
going
as
to
you
tap out
travel.
on hours too. You can only grind
Right.
with so many websites, right?
Right. Well, one benefit to being a web developer, I call it the double down. When you're at your 9 to 5, but making like money while you're there doing other stuff, of course. But yeah, man, that was all and the traffic in Northern Virginia is all the motivation anybody probably needs to not want to work, right? So and you know what? I owe you again, because you know how I got started with FBA, right?
The Daniel, the
Yep.
guy I hooked you up with.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, dude, you've really done me a lot of solids in life,
You
man.
did the
So
work, bro.
it doesn't matter. You know what I
worries,
mean?
man.
If you want to call it fate or the universe, whatever, man. You helped me make it happen for real.
Yeah. Well, I like seeing people do what they want. It makes them happy. Right? I knew you weren't.
I want to drink a Tecate right now. And you know what?
Let's cheers again,
Let's
man.
do it. On a YouTube video. But yeah, man. So I crossed paths with Daniel, the FBA coach, randomly at that meeting that you invited us to where you were the keynote speaker for a local business owner. Right.
And he was randomly here. He's not even from here.
You say
What are the
random,
odds
but
of
who
that?
knows, right? Who knows?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to learn FBA and struggling because that stuff is not easy. Not as someone who sells courses, I'm not just saying that to sell you a course. Like, it's not easy. Most people never get off the ground. I didn't get off the ground.
Why is it so? What is FBA for people that don't know that are watching?
So Amazon FBA is like fulfilled by Amazon. That's where we can source products. It's not drop shipping, right? We find a manufacturer overseas, pay them to do a production run in bulk for our products, then have it shipped. Instead of it going to my house and me having to go to the post office every day to ship the orders out, we ship it to Amazon's warehouses. They have all the staff. When we make an order, they pick, pack, and ship it for us.
Why is it so difficult?
You know what's great about FBA is once you've done it for a while, it's easy. You know what I mean? My business was bringing in, like we mentioned, I have my income reports on my website at ryanhogue.com.
Which
you can
did
actually see
every year for 4 years.
You can see
in a row.
me
You
scale
can
it
see
up.
his net profit breakdown. He's
Yeah.
fully transparent, which is super rare.
Yeah, you can see like how long it took me to scale up. And I mean, yeah, it started slow, but you don't have to start slow. I just didn't want to dump all this money into a business that didn't work. You know?
He's actually, this may have changed because I haven't been in touch with you as much the last few years, but you're actually very risk averse, right?
Right.
Yeah, he's extremely like fiscally conservative, but like he takes very calculated risks. He's been this way since I've known him.
That's a very accurate way, I'd say, of describing it. Like if I wanted to be riskier, I probably would have like a 8-figure story instead of a 7-figure story. You know what I mean? It really is like how high you set your sights. And I'm guilty of not setting them like on 9 figures or even 8. You know
So
what I mean?
where like his journey in business and his financial journey, mine's been like a roller coaster that climbs over time. His has been like, yours has been like a steady.
Yeah.
You probably had some jumps too, right? But like you're consistent. And that's why that's not my personality. Like I can't be that, or I don't want to be that, but I respect that about him. Because a lot of people, they just like take one big risk and fail and give up, you know?
Yeah, man. So FBA and crossing paths with Daniel, who coached me through it back in 2016, early 2017, like that was huge. We would meet once a week. One thing that, not to harp too much on it, but like for real, if you want to get something done in life, whether it's like starting a business or anything else, like you have to prioritize it, right? Like it's one thing to talk about it, but if you're not following through, you're not going to make it, most likely. So for us, like every Wednesday night was Amazon night. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't maybe Amazon night, but I got to go get drinks with the boys. It was Amazon night, no matter what, period. That's what it was. So that really got me through it. You know what I'm saying? Because it took 3 months probably, you know, of effort. But it paid off, right? It paid off. Like that, the initial like paying him $2,500 to coach me.
Yep.
My first order was $2,400 with shipping. So
you're
that's
in 5K.
Yeah, you're in 5K with 0 return. You know what I mean? That's why I say don't quit your day job too. You know, keep that for as long as you can.
That's not a common message to hear, right? Like a lot of people say, oh, you could do anything, just believe it and then pay the money and like it'll happen. And like it can. Like I've had things work out, but I've also had a lot of things not work out that I just kind of jumped into. So like this is not bad advice, especially for people that are a little bit younger, or maybe you feel like you're stuck in a job and you're not ready to just quit and do your thing. Like make time for what's important. Like we vote with our time, right?
Right, for real.
So like if you want to go chase something, whether it be like lead gen, affiliate marketing, pay-per-call, Amazon FBA, insurance sales, doesn't matter. Like just make the time, because we all have the time if we really look at it.
Yeah, your priorities, I just say your priorities are what you spend your time doing. Not what you like want them to be, but like literally what you do.
We love to lie to ourselves.
Yeah,
People
it's
love
so
to
easy.
lie. Yeah, we're humans.
Yeah.
You know. So after you still do FBA, but FBA also evolved or expanded into merch next.
Just coincidentally, man, or you know, whatever you want to call it, fate. I don't care what you call it. While I'm studying FBA, you know, I talked about the double down. I'll be at my day job, which as a web developer, anybody with experience knows, like you put 100 developers in a room, give them the same task, they're gonna get it done at different times. Most likely the person who finishes first is the best one. You know what I mean? That's just how it works. So if you're fast, it's probably because you're good at what you do. So my job wasn't that hard, you know what I mean? Because I didn't make it any harder on myself than it needed to be. I still got all my work done. Everything was great. But I had plenty of free time to do other stuff. So I was browsing Reddit and just looking at ways to make money online on Reddit. You know, I frequented those communities because why not? You know what I mean? There's some weird stuff in there, but like a lot of, you know, it paid. And eventually came across a thread about Amazon merch, right? Amazon merch, what the heck is that? You know, even today in 2023, like what the heck is that? Most of your viewers are probably like, I have no clue what that is. Well, everybody wears t-shirts, right? So Amazon merch enables you to sell apparel on Amazon with no money down. Like all you and
It's like
me,
true drop shipping almost.
for sure. Yeah.
Right.
I call it drop shipped print on demand. Like it's when you drop ship, the products exist, right? And then they just ship it. This is like, they'll ship it for you, but the product doesn't even exist because like we could go design 10 t-shirts and somebody may buy one of the 10. They don't need to print the design on the shirt until after the order, right? So all they do is we outsource this all to Amazon. They've got all the infrastructure, the staff, everything.
You're basically driving traffic.
Yeah, dude, it's amazing. I mean, this is like, again, I love when things feel like free money. This feels like free money, man. Just like selling those links on my drinking game website.
Yeah.
And I mean, I found out about that when I found out about FBA. And I ended up getting my first Amazon merch sale at the same time I got my first FBA sale. So that's on my April 2017 income report.
You could see it. We'll link back to that.
It's so not impressive because it was like the total profit I think was like $40 maybe, which nobody cares about, right?
But it showed you that it was possible.
This is where perspective makes such a huge difference, man, because to us, like, it's almost like proof that we're gonna be successful and we know we can scale it up with time. So for me, getting those first sales and them being profitable was like all I needed to be addicted, man. And one thing that I took away from that too, my brain started thinking of money in terms of like dollars per day. That's one thing that like, if you join my email list, the first email you get is like, start thinking of your money in terms of dollars per day. How much dollars per day do you make? That way, when you're just starting off and making your first sale, even though it feels like nothing, like you've increased your dollars per day by something, right? And if you can make one sale, what's stopping you from making two, you know,
So
and
that
2 to 4?
completely changed your mindset.
Absolutely. I mean, sometimes there are things that stop you from scaling, right?
Of course.
So if in that case, you got to address the things that are true in life. But like, if you're completely outsourcing all of this stuff, if it's FBA, Amazon has the infrastructure to store your stuff, pick, pack, and ship it. You can get one order or 1,000. They will do all of it for you.
Yeah.
Amazon merch, same thing. You know what I mean? I got my first sale in April, and by June of the same year, I had my first $1,000 profit month. And from there, I mean, you already know I was hooked.
Yeah.
And today, I make regularly anywhere from like $4,000 to $5,000 a month outside of the fourth quarter. And in fourth quarter, that could be as high as like 10K a month.
From merch, from FBA, from what?
That's just Amazon merch.
Just merch.
Yeah.
What's your FBA business do?
FBA, so I haven't been as aggressive since 2020 because they started closing down their warehouses. Like Amazon, if you've been tracking them in the news like for the last couple of years, they've been closing the warehouses down. And in the past, and this is something that like me and my girlfriend Marielle talk about because she's doing FBA, these restrictions that they now impose on your account is related to how much inventory you can send in. That didn't used to be a thing. So when I started off, like I mean, I don't know how aggressive I was, depends on who you talk to, but like I went from like 1 SKU to like 15 relatively quickly.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have to worry about sending them in. I just knew Amazon would take them. You know, Amazon was very growth focused, and so it was never a problem.
They wanted more.
Dude, in 2020, they started imposing ridiculous restrictions, and they didn't really go away until like March of 2023. So I've had to cut my SKUs like constantly. You know what I mean?
Is that because of all the shipping issues out of China? And like
I don't,
bulk orders getting stuck?
It's literally that Amazon won't let me send it, and I don't want to touch this inventory. You know what I mean? Like I got better things to do. At this point, I'm doing FBA just to kind of say I do it. You know, not that you can still make money with it, but I've had to cut so many SKUs that like to get them restarted will require, and I may, you know what I mean? It also was nice when I worked across the street from the bank, you know what I'm saying? So I could just walk across the street for lunch, wire some money, and that was my FBA business. The ads ran themselves. The listings, once they're optimized, they just sit there on Amazon making you money.
It's free traffic, basically.
Yeah, well, free. Yo, they charge you for it.
Oh, you're paying per click.
Well, on Amazon, I just mean like, you know, they take crazy fees, right? From every sale.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's.
Yeah. But you're getting free real estate.
Yeah, and they index well on Google. Like I always like to zoom out and say,
Dude,
like,
if you look at running, because I come from the paid traffic world, where I only run paid traffic. I don't even think about SEO, which is definitely a mistake. I understand that. But like knowing my typical costs, like on physical products, right? Because I've done a lot in e-commerce. Now I'm just in data. You're looking at like 30 to 50% of your costs is going to get eaten up by ads. So to have the full fulfillment top to bottom taken care of plus your listing, it's worth it, man. It's a fair trade. I mean, it's a big trade, but it's a fair trade, in my opinion.
Hey, for what it's worth too though, to your credit, like I'm not super aggressive with ads just because I don't like to lose sleep over, oh, I forgot to check my ad campaign today and I might be overspending. Like I'm making excuses, by the way.
No, this happens, man. I'm thinking about this.
I talked to somebody though this week who is like a very top merch seller. Like I'm a top merch seller technically, but like this guy is like making 10 times what I make. But he has been super aggressive. He set his sights on higher earnings than I did. He has a whole team of people that run ads for him every day. That's what they do. They go to his merch account, they log in, they spend all their time in the ad console. Because merch, it feels like they'll kind of cap your traffic to your listings. And I don't know if I did a good job explaining what merch is, guys. Imagine you go to Amazon right now and type in like funny July 4th t-shirt, okay? You're gonna see a bunch of shirts that aren't sold through the merch program, and you're gonna find some that are. When you see the ones that are, you'll notice they have like the same thumbnail on all of the primary images. So it's kind of easy to detect when you scroll. And they'll say sold by Amazon, by the way. And now they even put the logo there, which is like a serious boost to our conversion rate. Because it's sold by Amazon, everybody knows Amazon.
Feels more endorsed.
Yep.
Because it technically is. They're doing everything.
Yeah. So I mean, it's been a beautiful thing. And those two complementary income streams helped me learn how to sell on Amazon at an expedited pace because I was doing both in parallel. And like everything I learned with FBA as it relates to an optimized product listing and how to run ads helped me in merch and vice versa. You know what I mean? And that so ultimately helped like expedite the process. But you can still learn it even faster today, obviously. There's so much great free content on YouTube. I do my best to contribute to that. And if you are somebody that just wants to be handheld through everything step by step, from beginner to intermediate to expert, that's where my courses come in.
Course comes in.
They really are good.
What else? We know this.
I wouldn't BS you. Yeah. I'm just saying. I just redid a bunch of them coming into the start of 2023 too.
No, it's one of the best courses you'll find on this stuff. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
What are your other income streams after that? Or how's that evolved since? You have merch, you had FBA, what else?
So this is where I realized that the print-on-demand products we sold on Amazon Merch, that was just one portal, right? That's like, it's not the same as Seller Central, where you do your FBA stuff, right? So Amazon Seller Central is where 99.9% of Amazon listings are posted from. That's where if we wanted to sell anything like a pillow from this room, we would go to Seller Central. Amazon Merch is a separate portal, so we can only sell what they let us sell. T-shirts.
And improve your listings.
Yeah, and improve listings, right? So I realized I could take the t-shirt designs I made, and they've expanded the catalog to include like tank tops, long sleeve, hoodies, even throw pillows, you know what I'm saying? So they've expanded it, pop sockets. There's 14 products right now. But I realized I can take those designs and sell them on like coffee mugs on Seller Central.
This is like a proven product essentially.
Yeah, well, it's just a design, really, right?
Is the
it's just a design. Yeah. And some of these designs, this is the other thing. People are listening like, well, I'm not a good designer, so this is pointless. I'm not a good designer. This is what's crazy. If you just kind of sit there, or take my course. I'm not trying to plug the courses, but I'm just saying like I can fast forward you, or just kind of like do a bunch of searches on Amazon, on Etsy, look at what's selling, and just make notes. A lot of them are text only. Like over 50% of the, I didn't even realize this. I was featured on CNBC last year for making so much money from my print-on-demand business that I spent like 20 hours, I think they said 20 hours working on all year. Because it's literally can be that passive, and I use automation to get it that far. But like they were text only, like text only designs, and I was using an Adobe Illustrator script to make the designs.
You weren't even making them.
Exactly.
You teach us in the course too, right?
Of course.
Of course.
But that's like you wouldn't like just jump into that, right?
Right.
That's definitely expert level. That's black belt level for the jiu-jitsu people out there.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, I mean, that's a thing, you know what I mean? When you start, you go slow. You grind it out. I uploaded manually 13,000 products through the Amazon merch portal. 13,000. Granted, I did a lot of that while I was at my 9-to-5 job, so it wasn't as bad as it sounds.
He actually got paid to do that.
But as soon as and this is where having the YouTube channel, I'm kind of jumping around here, right? But having a YouTube channel helped people find me and show me tools that I would have never known existed. I have a buddy, Curtis, that lives out in Las Vegas. We've met up a couple times. Like, he has some crazy automation software. He's got an incredible team of developers that he's assembled over the years. One of the software tools he showed me in 2019 showed me that I can take these designs that I was uploading manually, 13,000 of, queue them up in a spreadsheet, and then just click go, and then not do anything. It'll just do it for me. And as a web developer, I'm kind of ashamed I didn't think of this myself, but either way, I mean, it got the job done. So what I used to do is, like, I'd be at my 9-to-5 job, use Chrome remote desktop, remote into my computer at home, and just queue up these uploads. And I mean, that's ultimately, since then, how I built this business with no friction, about as easy as you could possibly do it.
And you don't spend any money. Well, I guess you spend some money on ads now with Amazon, but before you didn't.
The strategy I use is, like, I call it the low ball bid strategy. So if you just set an auto campaign where you let Amazon read your keywords,
spend whatever. Yeah.
But you can cap your bids. So I cap my bids at like less than 10 cents. And then they have this little, like, hidden function that says, like, if you're eligible to be shown at the top of search results, spend X% extra. So I'll use that and say, like, spend 100% extra or 200% extra.
Which is nothing on.
So if you bid 5
cents,
cents, or 10 cents, right? And that's really my ad spend. Like, I'm transparent about my ad spend on the first of every month I publish that. So
with Facebook ads, there's and pretty much any ad platform, there's like manual bidding concepts, right? So it's like the same thing, like cost caps, bid caps, where you squeeze like some people argue like quality of traffic, like if it's high or low quality, but it's really just cheap traffic.
Yeah. Well, there's platforms like Etsy that, like, they used to let you set your bids, now they don't.
It's just auto bid.
They removed it.
Pay whatever the auction sets it at.
They removed it overnight, didn't tell us. And so I checked like a week later and realized they were spending my full budget every single day, which used to spend like 10% of.
Because
I capped all my bids.
Throttling it with the big caps.
Right. And I was killing it with the capped bids.
Of course you were.
And then they said no more. And all of a sudden the bids that were required to get traffic were like 5-6x and maxing out my bids or my budget every day. So Etsy, they're shady.
So you have those two businesses basically running. You had the merch, the FBA. You started doing YouTube through this whole thing.
Well, I'll say I took the merch designs. I'll summarize it. I took them and I started selling them on more products on Amazon through Seller Central next to my FBA listings.
Separate. It's not FBA.
Right.
It's a separate thing.
Well, my FBA is through Seller Central.
Okay, so you basically took listings from merch and put them on.
I took the designs
channel.
Because on merch, all you have to do is upload a design.
Right.
And select what products it's going to be available for sale on.
But
so
they
I
like
select
a standard
like t-shirt,
Amazon
hoodie.
listing, basically.
Right.
On different products.
On my Seller Central, which is where I had my FBA products, now I list FBM. So they're not like pre-paid for, right? Like FBA means you prepay and you send them to Amazon. Yeah. FBM is fulfilled by merchant. And the way that works is I just set like a 5 or 6 day handling time. And there's software that integrates with Seller Central that lets me push the mugs, even shot glasses, fun stuff, man. Pillowcases.
Yeah.
You can do jewelry. Like, there's so many products. And I would just take these designs that I'd already made and just make them available for sale on additional products. Fast forward a couple more years, and there's a tool that automates that too, by the way. So it's just, I've got like hundreds of thousands of products now, you know?
So what else came from this? Then you opened up
Then
courses?
I pivoted. Then I jumped on Etsy. Then I jumped on Etsy, eBay. So I'm thinking occupy as much online real estate as possible, right? Like when they Google something, if it's something I'm selling, I want them to have a chance of finding me on Amazon,
Etsy,
product. eBay, right? I mean, and a lot of these spaces are very crowded, right? Because even back then it was like low barrier of entry. You know what I mean? And like today it's still low barrier of entry, but with so many YouTube videos about it, like it's not a secret, you know?
Yeah.
So it's
a lot of 16-year-old kids that want to do this now that didn't want to do this 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right? That
they've been thinking about it for, now they have to get a real job.
Awareness of like teenagers able to do this. They kind of started with drop shipping and like Shopify and stuff, but then it really opened up the last few years, like especially with TikTok ads, which is cheaper to acquire than Facebook ads.
Yeah.
You know? It's crazy, man.
But yeah, I respect anybody of any age that's trying to hustle and get that money and not have to work and sit in traffic and, you know what I mean?
Do something they enjoy.
Not every job sucks, by the way, but like, you know what I mean?
A lot of people hate their jobs.
Right.
A lot of people do hate their jobs. Most people do. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't blame them. And traffic alone.
I know maybe like 5 people that don't dislike what they do.
Yeah. All the
And the
motivation I needed was traffic. That's it. That's all I needed.
The bad kind of traffic.
Right. Yeah. Sitting in bumper to bumper traffic.
You get that joke, huh?
Bumper to bumper traffic. Exactly. So
then you opened up your courses in 20.
Well, from there, it was like, we have, He Who Shall Not Be Named, remember, inspired me to start my...
Oh, yeah, KD?
Yeah, KD. Inspired me to start my courses because every video I watched on YouTube about selling on Amazon would autoplay into his videos. And as now I'm selling on Amazon. So now I'm like...
We're not going to say his name, but he was sued for everything he's worth, which was, I think, reported 57 million, but he only had, I think, like 5 mil in cash. And they just settled and took all of that. So
he still came out ahead, but he's an asshole. But anyways, like, he inspired me to start my courses because I used to watch his videos and be like, okay, I'm learning. Then I had the experience and I'm like, I'm still watching his videos. I'm like, never mind, this dude's full of it. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And so that inspired me to start my first course, which was my FBA course, because I was like, this dude's selling an FBA, like the #1 FBA course on the internet, and he clearly doesn't know what he's talking about, very clearly. And
he's a biz op guy. He sells
to his credit, he made way more money selling that
courses.
course. Yeah,
and Shopify dropshipping courses.
Yeah, and Amazon Done For You, and all this stuff. Yeah.
Amazon automation.
By the way, dude, funny story. He messaged me on Instagram and was like, bro, keep it up. Yeah, he follows me. He follows like a couple hundred people, and I'm one of them. So random, man. Dude, everything, the universe is just saying, hey, you're in the right place at the right time. Like, everything's coming full circle, for real. Because, I mean, really, I'll show you. He actually
I believe you,
He
man.
DM'd me.
You should make a video about it.
He clearly didn't see the video I made about him. Anyways, that led to the course creation. And, the course creation, so I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on ads because, you know me, risk averse. So I started a YouTube channel. And one thing led to another, man, just grinded that out. That built up an audience organically. You know
Over
what I mean?
150,000 subs today.
At this point,
More than that.
Yeah, basically 150K right now. Facebook page with 40K, you helped me build that. A couple Facebook groups with like 30K plus. Email list, won't say the size, but it's big. You know what I mean? Everything's, trending up. And that's really the name of the game, whether it's paid or organic visibility, is just getting your content in front of the people that are interested in it, you know? And if you can help them and they're interested in your help, and it's not like I charge for everything. Most of the stuff I give is free. I do daily YouTube content for years.
What's your like 3 secrets?
Dude, 3 secrets. They're all gonna be like not action oriented stuff, but like mantras. You know what I mean? The first one is like what we said. It's just like your priorities are what you spend your time doing. So don't talk about it, just do it. Because the world is it's full of so many people that are talkers.
Hype, talkers. Instagram post.
Yeah. You got to do what's important to you. Second one is just like occupy as much online real estate as possible, right? Like if you're going to sell a t-shirt on Amazon, sell it on Etsy, sell it on eBay, sell it on Walmart. And it may sound like, oh, that's a lot of work, but like if you can't figure it out, my course pays for itself so easily. I literally have 2 weekly calls every week with my private community. And like I just talked to them about, we just started selling print on demand on Walmart because they made it a lot easier to get on Walmart. And every time I say I sell on something, it's all automated fulfillment. So when I make a sale, I don't have to like do anything. It just fulfills, uploads, tracking, I get paid. And I was making like 1 sale a week because it's still new. And I said, guys, before anybody laughs at like 1 sale a week, because that doesn't sound like a lot, I'm making, with how I price my products, $10 a sale, just about. After a year, 53 weeks, that's $530 profit.
Without having to do anything.
Right.
That's one listing.
And that's 1 year. And we know that if you've been posting new products constantly, your catalog goes from 1 product to 10 to 100 to 1,000. And 1 sale a week turns into 2, turns into 4, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like that perspective is literally like, you're either self-sabotaging because you don't have the right perspective on how this works, or
you see this as a long-term play.
Well, at a minimum, because like you can also get lucky. I mentioned I started Amazon merch, got my first sale in April. By June, I made $1,000. That's not typical, right? But like it happened. And once you have that first bite of success, you're hooked.
What's been your biggest success story?
There was without saying the product, I mean, I guess I could. Basically.
One of your students.
Oh, success story. All right. Yeah. I was gonna say I had like this FBA product that did like 15K in a day. And I was like, damn, that's a lot of money, you know? Students, let me think. Biggest success story, I have somebody from Jamaica, right? So they're not on like a US salary.
Right.
And his name's Aldine. I've had him on my YouTube channel for an interview. This dude took everything that I teach and just followed it. You know what I mean? Like, but like he actually did all of it. Like you can clearly see he took it in and took it to heart and acted on it. And like he had a major success story where, because I talk about not just like how to do it, but also how to find winning products. You know what I'm saying? How to frame them, how to frame them to be successful. When it makes sense to run an ad, you don't have to be successful, but sometimes it makes sense to. He was super early to a trend. He basically used like my method to like find the trend, because it's not like something he gave a crap about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was just a thing that people wanted.
He was early to it. He did all the right things, protected his pole position, you know, because when you're on Amazon or any website, they're gonna come. They're coming for you. The sharks are coming. And I don't remember what the numbers were, but like he made like thousands of dollars profit in like a 2-week span. I was like, dude,
in Jamaica.
In Jamaica.
That's cool.
But doing the same thing that we're doing here from my computer.
He's still at it. He's still in the business.
He's still at it, dude. Yeah. He still comments on like my videos and he's still watching them. Yeah. But he's in my course and he just followed it, you know? And it was like very evident from his success story that he followed what I taught, you know?
Principle number 2.
Oh, well, number 1 was
secret number
be
2.
about it, right?
Yeah.
Number 2 is occupy online real estate. Physical real estate's cheap. Online real estate, dude, is not that expensive. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you just got to put the work in.
So if you're gonna sell a t-shirt on Amazon, sell it on all the other platforms. It's actually not that much extra work. And then don't forget that a lot of people's online shopping journey starts at Google. So if you have the shirt indexed on Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Walmart, just as like 4 to name, there's more, but that's 4 links that they might see in Google search. So they can click any of those 4, right?
You're gonna dominate the placements.
Exactly, exactly. And so the likelihood of them finding you, and they don't know who you are, they don't care. You know what I mean? If you have what they're selling, give yourself the best chance of getting in front of them, because without that, you don't make a sale. So that's like got to be number 2, you know?
It's number 3.
Number 3, honestly, is just, it's mainly, I would say, find complementary income streams. Like, you know, if you're good at Amazon merch, you can do Amazon FBA reasonably well. I actually didn't mention it, but like you can sell print-on-demand books on Amazon through Amazon KDP. Now, I don't talk about that as much because I don't spend as much time doing it, but like my first 3 months on Amazon KDP, no joke, and I started in October 2019, so it was Q4. So they're very inflated numbers, but I made $3,500 profit from not even having a seller account, right? In October to starting one. I made $3,500 in 3 months. You know what I mean? And that's because Amazon did all the fulfillment. They basically made it so that all I had to do was create the listings, right? Create the books in this case. We went from selling t-shirts to books to FBA. And it may sound like we're all over the place, but the reality is they all intersect at you need to just understand how the Amazon algorithm works.
It's like the same skill set pretty much.
And Amazon customer psychology, exactly. And then just do a good enough job. And
how do you make your money now in addition to this?
Yeah, I mean, as I just mentioned, complementary income, right? I did it as a web developer. Now we're talking about being good at e-commerce, but you know, thanks to KD, like I started a YouTube channel so that I could sell a course, right? But it wasn't just to make money off a course. It was because I saw people paying a lot for his course that was clearly BS, right?
Yeah.
So now let me show you guys that, you know, I'm selling this course, but let me publish income reports every month to show you that I'm actually starting this business. And I go back to day 1 so you can see that like I literally made 1 sale in my first month. 1 sale. Nobody's gonna lie about like that. You would at least, you know, 10x it, right?
KD made 10K in the first day.
Yeah.
With his method.
Yeah. His student fake stories were so over the top, dude. I don't even want to go there, but they're so over the top. I was like, dude, even if you were selling paper clips, you would have to be charging like $4 a paper clip to get to those numbers. Like, it's so absurd. But yeah, man, like you can monetize the YouTube presence in a lot of ways. Number 1, YouTube ads pay. You know, I never even set out to do that. I didn't monetize my channel for the first year
like
plus.
AdSense?
Yeah. I had a guy who has a big YouTube channel say like, hey, teach me shirts and I'll teach you YouTube. And one of the things he taught me was like, monetize your channel. No joke, he said that and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't want to be annoying, so I didn't run ads. He said, no, do it. YouTube likes when you do it because then they make money, right? It incentivizes them.
Oh, yeah.
So I did that and no joke, like my growth has been at a much higher rate.
Verify my darn address and turn that on then, because I haven't even bothered monetizing my channel.
I would do it because he, no joke, told me that and it worked. And he's got like hundreds of thousands of subs. Yeah. So that was a great advice. And you can monetize it through like affiliate marketing. I never set out to do that either. No joke. Like I did YouTube to send people to the course. And that was really it, you know, help people, but also I'm helping myself because I do charge. But also there's no problem with charging. Like I paid Daniel $2,500, but you know what me starting off $2,500 in the hole was to be my Amazon FBA coach. It meant that I was going to show up to every meeting.
You were motivated.
Exactly.
Coaching's with a good coach, it's one of the best investments.
Yeah, you're going to have a pie on your face if you just quit on
You're
yourself.
You're going to save yourself
and waste
thousands of dollars
Yeah.
and a lot of hours.
And when you give courses away for free, dude, almost, I'm not saying that everybody doesn't, but it's so rare.
Dude,
most people don't do it. Exactly. So you charge a little bit and it pays for itself. You know what I mean? Like I said, Walmart, one sale a week, $10 profit, $530. That's like minimum success, you know?
What
Go ahead.
What motivates you to do what you do now? Why do you do it?
I guess creature of habit. I do think back, because I mean, we're both doing all right, you know?
Yeah.
The money we have, I think we, are in good shape. But I think also like the helping people aspect is great. You know what I mean? When you see the feedback in your Facebook community, your YouTube comments, responding to emails, like I don't farm that work out. I read and respond to all the emails. Like it's nice to actually help people. I think we're both like good, like moral people.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one. But like also to put in all this work to start the business, learn, become an expert, start a YouTube channel, grow that, make a course, which isn't easy, takes a lot of time. Dude, when I made my first course, I spent over a year and I would go into work where at my old day job, like near here, it's where me and Marielle met, like next door at the gym. Dude, I would go every Saturday, and just sit there in the dark. And that's what it took for me.
Making a course sucks, man. I've made
it sucks.
Two courses and I made 3 updates to my first one. And it obviously pays, but it's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
It sucks the energy out.
And you need to do it all in one sitting, or not in one sitting, but you know what I mean? Like you can't just like take a long break and come back. Otherwise you have to like rewatch all the content and see where you left off and stuff.
You screwed up. You're like, oh, I missed that part from that video, so it doesn't make sense. And
yeah,
I know, man.
So yeah, man, that's really, I guess that's a good question though. What motivates you?
Freedom. It's pretty freaking awesome. Like I'm not where I want to be. I'm never going to be where I want to be yet. Right. But just the ability to I feel super blessed, man. Like I'm able to travel and go do fun stuff whenever I want. And I couldn't 10 years ago, I had my own business, but I wasn't doing that well. To have relatively full freedom to just go and do that. It puts it in perspective what actually matters. You realize oh yeah, flying in business class and a lay flat seat's really cool, but it actually doesn't matter. It's not going to improve your life. So I think it also, once you get to experience and enjoy really cool things like that, it makes you question what actually matters.
Yeah, I hear you. No, for sure. So that is one thing.
It's like a different perspective. Because when you don't have that stuff, you think that having that stuff is everything.
Right.
Last night, for example, I got my purple belt in jiu-jitsu, like I told you, and my parents and some
Congrats.
of my, thanks, man, and some of my jiu-jitsu buddies and close friends came over, and the fact that I could take a random Thursday night, do that, stay, and then we stayed up till. My parents stayed up till 12:30 at night, which my dad's 70 years old. I've never seen him do that in my life. And he was sitting there having fun. Dude, that was super cool. And if I had a really high stress job, I had to be in an office, I'd probably have to cut the party early or say, let's wait till the weekend.
Right.
And it's the fact that I could do that, that's super cool, man.
Dude, I agree 100%. But then when you have the freedom, you start trying to bring your other friends in that have the jobs. They're like, oh, I can't, it's Sunday.
It's hard, man. It's hard. It makes sense why circles exist of people are super successful in this thing, but it's really important, I think, to share the perspective in a positive way, not rubbing in people's faces, but just try to give them that kick in the butt motivation. Because if you asked 10 people on the street, that nine out of 10 of them at minimum will hate their job. Probably 95 out of 100 will say the same thing too. So I think if you can be a source of inspiration and with class behind it, it's cool. You could do something good,
Yeah.
Because business can be very self-interest based. We could literally just sell crap, make a ton of money, and then never really add value to the world. And I think I wouldn't feel good ending my life that way,
Yeah. I wonder how, as you said that, I'm what percentage of business is that?
A lot. Banking. I think a lot of businesses.
Don't get me started.
Dude, okay, so when I came out of college, I left personal training because I was oh, well, there's no money in that. I can't live on that. So I took this job selling insurance. And I was actually thinking that when I first started the job. At that point, I wasn't conscious in the sense where I was oh my God, I need to do something that matters to change the world. But I was thinking this stuff doesn't even matter. But one of the agents there that was really just grounded, hardworking guy, one of the top agents, he told me, I don't even think I asked him, he just told me, like, he put into perspective that you can find meaning in, like, even something dry like insurance. You could say, well, actually, if I give this person, like, you know, life insurance, I know for a fact that their family, if this guy dies in a car wreck, they don't have to, like, worry about how they're going to pay their bills. Like, that's cool. Like, if you could attach meaning to what
I
you
respect people that are good at their job, period.
Oh, dude.
You know what I'm saying? You could be a janitor. It doesn't matter. If you take pride and you're good at it, respect.
Exactly.
You know, I always thought to myself growing up, man, like, I just never envisioned myself wasting my time being bad at something that I spend my time doing. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to spend my time doing something, like, I'm going to try. You know what I mean?
I've worked on saying no to more things the last year because I noticed I used to always say yes. So I think you go through a period in your life where it's good to say yes to everything, to try things out, to try to, like, just put yourself out there, to grow. But when you're, like, busy and you actually don't have time to commit to multiple things, I mean, you do multiple streams of income. I don't know how you do that, man. I struggle to focus on, like, 1 or 2 things. But, like, generally, if you commit to too many things, you really can't give things 100%. Even if you have scale and a team, and which you need to build a freaking team, man.
We'll see. Well, one day.
What's next for you, dude?
I mean, I honestly, do you know what I'm going to say? It's going to be the crazy, like, multiply your wealth stock options trade. That's really what it is, man. Yeah. On top of everything else I talked about, you know, I love to follow the markets. All this,
and you've done well.
All this free cash flow.
You've done really
yeah,
well.
Yeah. I mean, it's not easy to trade options, though. Like, you make a huge amount of money. When that happens, you better anticipate giving some of it back. You know what I mean? Like, last year was huge. This year's been brutal. Like, if you actually just zoom out 2023, we're range bound in a pretty tight range.
I have no idea what he's saying right now, but I agree with him.
The more volatility, the more they move, the more money people that are traders typically make. When it is range bound and doesn't make big swings, typically the people that make money are the ones that sell options premium to the traders. You know, so last year, lots of swings, lots of money. This year
it's been pretty
muted
flat.
moves. Yeah. So it's been a lot harder for people that are doing what I'm doing. Now, if I was versatile and was selling options premium, I'd have a great year. So anyways, that's what's next. I'm going to have a huge multiple. I mentioned that, like, NVIDIA released earnings this week. There was potential for a 200x. Some people did. Very few, you know, because those don't come often at all, right? It was very improbable, but, like, that's sort of a thing. I feel like it could be more obvious. It could be AMC, GameStop. Like, I almost was on that train. I was looking at the options chain before GameStop took off, looking to enter. Couldn't find any, but that's because I also didn't know what I know today. I could have eventually found some.
I had a buddy
Back then, I
that
couldn't
told me
find
in
any.
October, right before it ran up. And when it was still like $10.
The morning that it
$20.
made all the headlines, I was looking through the options chain, but, like, I didn't check enough dates. Literally, the call options, like, were not there, which you don't see. Like, we have liquid. The reason the U.S. stock market is popular because it's liquid. You know what I mean? So you can get whatever you want. It's there. Someone will sell it to you. I'm not trying to make excuses. Like, this has been an everyday journey for me since March 2020 to become an expert. And I'll never be an expert. It's too much. But I'm definitely in a much better position today, you know, with a lot more free cash flow. So I don't have to, like, get scared about taking big risks, you know, because worst comes to worst, tax write-off, right?
Yeah.
That's what's next.
What else are you focused on right now outside of business?
Yeah, man. Obviously staying fit, you know. I know we got that in common, right? Last year we took so many awesome trips, man. Like, this year we haven't been on as many as we, you know, probably would have liked to, me and Marielle, my girlfriend, but.
Where'd you go?
Dude, we went to, well, the British Virgin Islands with her family earlier this year.
Nice.
And then we went to Florida a couple times. We went to Palm Beach, we went to Miami. We just went to Destin, Florida for a wedding. So that's been, I think, the trips this year. We've got some beach trips planned and whatnot.
But last year you saw some crazy things.
Oh, dude, last year, I mean, we just traveled like every month, it felt like, you know what I mean?
It gets actually, like, you think when you're not doing it, it's what you want to do. And then you start doing it, because I'm traveling like every other month. I get tired, man. I actually want to be at home sometimes.
Right, that's what the end of last year was the best, because we probably, like, traveled for 9-10 months straight. You know what I mean? Of just like one
You get
one
tired,
trip.
dude. You're, like, happy to do nothing.
Yeah. When we got back and just, like, chilled, I was so motivated to just work on my business. All those things that, like, require, like, redoing a course, you know, and, like, approaching a bunch of brands for partner deals for 2023. Yeah, man. It just got me motivated, though.
Well, with traveling, I think is, like, the people watching this can relate to. If you're having or working on having success, or already having success in whatever your online business is, like, the traveling is great, but it really does come at a cost of efficiency, productivity, but it has that slingshot effect where it actually like you springboard back with
Right.
that. It fuels you sometimes, or you just get in a rut and it like screws you up completely too. So
It does both. It does both for
Yeah.
sure. Some trips are like really tough to get back into the swing of things. This last one was amazing. Like if you've ever been to Destin, Florida, like beautiful beaches and stuff like that. Like I had literally got in the water every day. I said, we were there for 7 days. I was like, I'm gonna jump in every day. And it was amazing. Coming back and having to like sit down at that computer and start like grinding videos out. I do daily videos. My email inbox is like not slowing down. I do weekly group calls with my community. Like there's commitments I have. So even if I just want to do the minimum, it's like you still got to snap back into it. And then obviously like I always say, like I've come so far that I want more, because it opens doors. And I don't like to say no, because then it's like I did all this work for what? To say no? So I still push myself,
gotta get a team, man. It'll change your life.
We'll see. We'll talk more about that off camera. It's like, dude, how much can you really outsource? Because you know what I mean? It's like,
You'd be surprised, bro. You don't see me filming this right now, do you?
no, I don't. Your
I'm not
camera
gonna be
guy's
editing
amazing
either.
too. I saw that other video you sent me. It's so good.
So how can people learn more about you? Obviously, we're going to link back to everything, but they want to learn more about Ryan's method.
Yeah, man, ryansmethod.com. Keep it simple, right? ryansmethod.com. You can Google like Ryan Hogue and see how good I am at SEO. Probably have like the first hopefully 10 pages just dominated. But one of the links you'll probably see is that CNBC article. That introduced me to a whole lot of new people. You can't pay to get on CNBC. People are like, how much you pay? I'm like, doesn't work that way. They have to reach out to you. So that was cool. And that tells a little bit of my story, but like from a professional writer. So if that's your thing, go read that. They did a good job. They basically made me write it, and then they even paid me to write it. And then they rewrote all of it. So it's like, I'm not a good writer. They rewrote the whole thing. I was like, why'd you pay me to do this?
Yeah.
But that was a cool experience. And yeah, man, like YouTube, honestly, everything's free, daily content. That's a great place to get started. If you join my email list, I literally rewrote my entire mini course. So you get 3 weeks of content when you join. It's a lot, but dude, I took that real serious. I spent 30 plus hours writing that content out. It's really good. And it'll get you started in a step-by-step hand-holding manner. And that's free. So I would say start there. You can find a link to my email list at ryanhogue.com or on all my YouTube videos.
What's a piece of advice you'd like to leave our listeners with? A lot of media buyers, Facebook advertisers, affiliate marketers, probably people that have at least dabbled in Amazon, FBA. What would you like to lead them with?
Well, number one, you have my respect. That's kind of the opposite of my approach to making money. And I know it works. It's just kind of it's almost I don't know. I think that's honestly takes more bravery, because you have to spend money to make money. And, you're not buying products physical products that you can sell, right? You're just you're spending money on that ad budget. So respect, number one, for going that far. I did everything I did organically, basically, in terms of the influencer side of things. If you need complementary passive income streams, no joke, print on demand is the easiest low barrier, but it does require that understanding of 12-month sales cycle. You know what I mean? If you start in January, you're literally as far as you could possibly be from when the easy money comes in October, November, December. So keep that in mind. And it's not I'm requiring a leap of faith when I tell you how I'm making my money. Number one, I don't even care if you want to jump in or not, because you know what I mean? It is what it is. But if it's something you think you can do, there's a lot of ways to go about doing it. They don't all have to be time and labor intensive. Some of the stuff I do can be automated. Others, like Amazon merch, they literally start you slow, and they'll give you the ability to sell more products as you are successful over time. Or you can just jump into Amazon Seller Central, go straight into automation and post, 200 products a day. So after 2 days, you have 400. After 4 days, you have 800, right? You see what we're doing here. These are just sitting there on Amazon, getting indexed by Google, and fulfillment is automated when you make a sale. So you see what I'm saying? You just build over time. You just keep building. So
cool, man. Well, as always, I appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me for this
been
video
real
today.
yeah, it's been fun, man.
Yeah. Cool. We'll see you guys next time.